Greetings, my fellow normies. This is Scott, your host. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. And today, this is episode 4, Mr. Freeze, a review of Gotham's villains. I'm doing about 45 different villains. I compare and contrast of the character depicted on the TV show Gotham to that of its counterpart in the comic books. So, we begin. This character is played by Nathan Darrow. I have to say that while the characters over the course of the series came and went, I think this is the most interesting, well-created, when it fleshed out this character that has never really been dealt with correctly, I feel. I had felt when we have seen the alleged Mr. Freeze, the past creations never told or explored the idea and purpose behind Mr. Freeze. Gotham, on the other hand, I felt did a very good job. I love the character and I wish we had more, even though the character played out throughout the entire season. Going into Gotham treats the emerging Mr. Freeze, aka Victor Fries, and the origin of Mr. Freeze keeps to the classic origin story of the character it appears. Freeze is a cryogenic scientist who seeks to help save his wife Nora when she falls terminally ill. In Gotham, Freeze, who becomes obsessed with saving the life of his beloved wife, ends up going rather unglued in terms of using his knowledge and starts freezing innocent people as he tests this formula he has created. All the while, his wife thinks he is testing on animals, when in fact he's testing on innocent people. Later, the wife Nora finds out that he is testing on people in their basement, while she goes into and finds on her own while he is out. Upon finding out that her husband was practicing to perfect his formula for his wife, she kills herself. Her husband's formula and chemicals when it comes to it. But in the show, it is a failure, and he discovers she used a different formula that he knows doesn't work after discovering his method works. Mr. Freeze attempts to kill himself in a failed attempt that mutilated his body from his exposure and working with the cryogenic chemicals. His body not being able to survive outside of sub-zero temperatures, and after being declared dead, he is transferred to the famous Indian Hill Wayne Enterprises facility. Victor began working with Professor Hugo Strange, which earlier Strange was interested in his formula, which Hugo Strange obtains a sample at the request of Strange. When his wife was transferred to a facility in Indian Hill before the attempted suicide, Strange had other methods for Mr. Freeze's chemicals. It's in bringing back the deceased back to life. We will discuss Hugo Strange much later, of course. Later in the series, Mr. Freeze becomes a loyal soldier for the Penguin, along with the sidekick of companion Firefly. It was kind of interesting, though, too, the companion between Mr. Freeze and Firefly and stuff, I thought. He does so as he is paid well to continue his research while using his methods of enforcing what the Penguin has him and Firefly take care of. But instead of attempting to save his wife Nora, he is now obsessed with finding a cure to his condition. In a lot of what we got from Mr. Freeze, he was well developed, and the origin was very much in a reflection of his comic book counterpart. I felt that it was done so well. I loved the character, but was not utilized as well. I was rather disappointed in the way they treated the character and the actor. Very complex character while limited on screen. Very well done, and the best I felt in live action or in any past reincarnation of the character. Now, getting into Mr. Freeze's counterpart from the comic book, the classical age. The character created by Bob Kane, Sheldon Moldoff, and Dick Dillon, and the last two were not credited. Mr. Freeze appears in Black Hawk number 117 in 1957, 2 years prior to Batman's number 121 appearance. In the Silver Age, which has very vibrant colors and classic comic books. And it's what they talk about the Silver Age and stuff. I kind of call it the classic age of comic books because you've got this time period of between, like 1940s to 1960s. There's a lot going on in the world. And they come up with these characters because, you normally see, you know, the creation of these characters out of nowhere and stuff, and usually they are of creations around you and stuff. That's my interpretation. That's how I feel about them and stuff. Like I'm writing a book, and I'm throwing and littering in there a lot of my overseas experience and stuff like that. But Mr. Freeze's comic book counterpart is very much in line with the Gotham TV show. Granted, it plays more modern era liberties in portraying this character in that he was a talented scientist with a father who was violent. He had no friends. He was but married the love of his life, Nora Freeze. He is a broken individual in a way he was raised. Of course, he would use his knowledge to leverage and go to any lengths to save the love of his life. Knowing he had a troubled past growing up, he wanted the perfect life, and he found that with Nora. The premise of the origin story is the same. While Liberty's changing things by a bit in terms of the terminally ill Nora, he froze her in order to find a cure later. Instead, the TV show, she kills herself and he loses her forever and turns into the villain that he is and stuff. So, it's pretty interesting, the direction that the two did. This character was very well done. His outfit and stuff and the way he was created over time and stuff, it was not rushed. It was very well done. It was very, very laid out and stuff. He wasn't overutilized, and he was underutilized a little bit. At the same time, he was well utilized and stuff. And I know that kind of is a contradiction, but it worked out really, really well. So, I want to thank you and stuff. This is episode 4. I'd really appreciate your thoughts in regards to my this review. My next episode will be episode 5, Carmen Falcone, and I will be releasing videos every Wednesday at 12:15 p.m. So take care, everybody. Bye.